Gentlemen, if you are over the age of 60, let me share a truth that may stop you in your tracks. By now, your testosterone may have dropped to less than half of what it once was. That number isn't just something your doctor circles on a lab report. It's the reason your energy feels lower, your muscles fade faster, intimacy feels harder to sustain, and even your confidence, the very essence of who you are as a man, seems to slip away. Too many men accept this decline as just aging. But I am here to tell you, it does not have to be that way. My name is Dr. Jonathan Prescott, and for more than 30 years I have devoted my career to helping men reclaim their vitality, their strength, and their ability to live life with dignity and fire again. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond rediscover what they thought was gone forever. And it wasn't through risky injections or expensive supplements. No, often the breakthrough came from the simplest of places, the foods already sitting in their kitchen. That's what today is about. Over the next few minutes, I will reveal 7 everyday foods backed by solid science that can help boost your testosterone naturally in as little as 7 days. They will restore circulation, recharge your energy, and reignite your confidence as a man. And stay with me, because the 7th food will surprise you. It's a fruit most men dismiss as nothing more than a refreshing summer treat, but it works almost like nature's own little blue pill. Before we dive in, I need a promise from you. If you find value here, hit that like button. Not for me, but for you. Because every time you press like, it signals to the algorithm, and more importantly to yourself, that your health, your manhood, and your future matter. And as you do, I want to send you 3 blessings. May your mornings be strong, may your evenings be joyful, and may your days ahead remind you that your best years are not behind you, but waiting just around the corner. Now, let's begin. When most men hear the word chocolate, they think of Valentine's Day boxes or a guilty pleasure after dinner. But gentlemen, let me reframe that for you. Dark chocolate, the kind with at least 70% cocoa, is not candy. It is medicine hidden in plain sight. For a man over 60, it can be one of the simplest, sweetest allies in reclaiming vitality. I recall a patient of mine, Mr. Harold, 68, a retired postman. He came into my clinic tired, worn down, and quietly ashamed that intimacy with his wife had become a memory rather than a reality. We worked on his lifestyle, yes, but I gave him one surprising suggestion: add a small square of dark chocolate to his evening routine. He chuckled at me, certain I was joking. Yet 3 weeks later, Harold returned with color in his face, a spring in his step, and a confession: he was looking forward to bedtime again for the first time in years. Why? The secret lies in flavonoids, powerful compounds in dark chocolate that relax your blood vessels, improve circulation, and reduce the strain on your heart. Better circulation doesn't just keep arteries clear, it directly fuels stronger erections, sharper energy, and a more reliable testosterone response. But that's only half the story. Stress is one of the biggest enemies of a man's hormones. The higher your cortisol, the lower your testosterone sinks. Dark chocolate naturally lowers stress hormones, easing the pressure on your system so your body can focus on rebuilding strength and restoring your masculinity. It's a small act, but a powerful one. A single piece of rich, bitter chocolate can shift you from feeling drained to feeling alive again. And isn't that what we want in this stage of life? Simple pleasures that carry real power. Gentlemen, type 1 in the comments if you believe even something as ordinary as chocolate could help restore a man's vitality. And if you're still skeptical, type 0. I read every response, and your voice matters here. Now, if chocolate can calm stress and open blood vessels, imagine what happens when we turn to a food that not only supports circulation, but also fights one of testosterone's greatest enemies: hidden inflammation. When you picture pineapple, you probably think of a refreshing slice on a summer day, or maybe a tropical drink by the pool. But gentlemen, there's more to this golden fruit than taste. For men over 60, pineapple can be a quiet powerhouse for restoring energy, easing inflammation, and lifting testosterone. I remember a patient of mine, Mr. Robert, 67, an ex-truck driver. He came to me worn down, his mornings stiff, achy, and drained before the day even began. His wife had suggested pineapple after dinner simply because she loved it. At first, Robert dismissed it as nothing more than dessert. But within weeks, his joints hurt less, his digestion smoothed out, and his mood, once heavy with fatigue, began to brighten. By the time he sat across from me again, he was grinning. He told me half-joking that pineapple had done more for him than half the pills he had tried. The secret here is bromelain, a natural enzyme unique to pineapple. Bromelain reduces inflammation throughout the body. And make no mistake, chronic inflammation is one of the greatest hidden enemies of testosterone. When your tissues are inflamed, your body diverts energy away from hormone production. Bromelain calms that fire, freeing your system to focus on rebuilding testosterone and circulation. But pineapple doesn't stop there. Its natural sugars provide quick, clean energy, while its fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants keep blood sugar stable, avoiding the spikes and crashes that sap older men of stamina. Better digestion and nutrient absorption are added benefits, and since hormones depend on how well you process food, this effect is no small thing. Adding fresh pineapple to breakfast or enjoying it after dinner isn't just about pleasure. It's about equipping your body to fight back against inflammation and fatigue one bite at a time. Gentlemen, let me ask you, when was the last time you ate pineapple not as a treat but as medicine? Type your answer in the comments, I read them all. And while pineapple works to calm hidden fires inside your body, the next food delivers fuel straight to your blood vessels, energizing circulation in a way that your partner may notice before you do. When most men in their 60s or 70s sit down with me and talk about energy, stamina, or confidence, very few ever mention pistachios. Yet these small green nuts carry a secret that speaks directly to a man's circulation, strength, and masculinity. I'll never forget Mr. Frank, 66, a retired mechanic. He came to me embarrassed, admitting he had tried prescription pills for performance but hated the side effects, headaches, flushing, and a hollow feeling that left him frustrated. He raised an eyebrow when I suggested adding a handful of pistachios to his daily routine. A month later, he walked into my office with a grin so wide his wife could have written the testimonial herself. "Doctor," he said, "she noticed the change before I did. The reason is pure science, not magic. Pistachios are loaded with L-arginine, an amino acid your body converts into nitric oxide. That nitric oxide is the very molecule targeted by prescription drugs for erectile dysfunction. It relaxes blood vessels, improves blood flow, and makes performance more reliable. But unlike a pill, pistachios also provide healthy fats, plant protein, and antioxidants that reduce inflammation and keep hormone production steady. For a man over 60, every bite counts. And pistachios deliver far more than their size suggests. Stronger circulation means more energy for your muscles, more stamina for your heart, and more confidence in the bedroom. They are proof that food can act as medicine without side effects, without stigma, and without breaking the bank. Gentlemen, I want to hear from you. If you've ever tried pistachios regularly, type green in the comments. If not, type first time so I'll know this video is your introduction. Your engagement tells me what's working and helps shape the next advice I bring to you. And once circulation begins to improve with pistachios, it paves the way for a food that works in an even subtler way, quietly regulating hormones and signaling vitality in ways you might not expect. Celery is one of those foods that hides in plain sight. Most men walk past it in the grocery store without a second thought, seeing it only as a garnish for chicken wings or a crunch in a salad. Yet for men over 60, celery holds a quiet but profound influence on hormones, confidence, and vitality. One of my patients, Mr. Samuel, 65, a retired math teacher, came to me with a sense of discouragement. He told me that no matter what he tried, exercise, supplements, even stricter sleep habits, his energy still felt flat and his sense of masculinity was fading. When I asked about vegetables in his diet, he admitted his plate rarely included anything beyond potatoes and corn. I encouraged him to add celery daily, almost as an experiment. Within weeks, Samuel noticed small but powerful shifts. His waistline began to slim. His mood lifted. Most importantly, he described feeling more present again, a kind of quiet confidence he hadn't felt in years. The reason lies in celery's unique compounds. It helps regulate hormones naturally, supporting testosterone production and even boosting pheromone signals, the invisible cues that increase attraction and presence. As men age, weight gain and hormonal imbalance often convert testosterone into estrogen, dulling that natural masculine signal. Celery helps restore balance, allowing testosterone to do its job. On top of its hormonal effect, celery is hydrating, anti-inflammatory, and cleansing. It lightens the load on your body, keeping circulation smooth and hormones steady. No, it isn't glamorous, and it isn't sweet or indulgent like chocolate or pineapple. But that is its power. It works quietly in the background day after day, helping your body perform as it should. It might seem too simple, but sometimes the simplest foods are the ones that carry the deepest impact. And while celery provides a foundation of balance, the next food takes a bolder approach, igniting your system with heat and fire, stirring energy and hormones in a way that no quiet vegetable could ever match. When I mention chili peppers to men in their 70s, the response is often the same. A laugh followed by, "Doctor, my stomach can't handle that anymore." But the truth is, the right amount of spice can reignite hormones and energy in ways most men never imagine. I recall Mr. George, 72, a retired librarian. A quiet man, he had lost much of his drive, both in energy and intimacy. For years, he had avoided spicy foods, believing they were too harsh for his digestion. I encouraged him to reintroduce just a small touch, a sprinkle of red pepper flakes in soup, a slice of chili in stew. Within a month, he noticed something remarkable. His mood lifted, his evenings felt more alive, and as he put it with a grin, I felt a fire I thought was gone forever. The secret is capsaicin, the compound that gives chili peppers their heat. Capsaicin does far more than tingle the tongue. It stimulates endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, lifting mood and easing discomfort. Just as important, it boosts circulation by dilating blood vessels. For men, that means stronger erections, better stamina, and more efficient delivery of hormones throughout the body. Research even suggests that men who enjoy spicier foods tend to have naturally higher testosterone levels. In other words, that sensation of heat on the tongue can be directly tied to the fire of masculinity. The good news is you don't need to overwhelm yourself. A pinch of dried chili, a dash of hot sauce, or a few slices of fresh pepper are enough to deliver the benefits. The point is not to test your tolerance, but to use nature's heat as fuel for your health. For a man in his later years, spice can do something extraordinary. It can awaken what feels dormant, reminding him that vitality is not just about strength, but about presence, passion, and the courage to feel alive again. And once that fire is rekindled, it sets the stage perfectly for the next food, a spear-shaped vegetable that nourishes nerves, hormones, and circulation all at once, quietly strengthening the foundation of masculinity. Asparagus is not the first food most men think of when talking about testosterone or energy. In fact, many dismiss it as bland or unnecessary. But for men over 60, these slender green spears provide a quiet, steady kind of power that nourishes hormones and nerves together. One of my patients, Mr. Leonard, 69, a retired civil engineer, once told me he never bothered with asparagus because it looked too fancy and frankly tasteless. But he was frustrated. Despite better sleep and moderate exercise, his intimacy and energy continued to fade. I urged him to give asparagus a fair trial, not for its flavor, but for its chemistry. A month later, Leonard returned with a smile and a story. His wife had asked him to cook it more often. He described feeling sharper, more focused, and stronger in the bedroom than he had in years. The secret lies in vitamin E, found abundantly in asparagus. Vitamin E is essential for the production of sex hormones. Without enough of it, testosterone levels slip lower and lower, leaving a man drained without understanding why. In addition, vitamin E protects the nervous system, keeping the signals between brain and body strong. For men, that's not a small detail, it's the difference between clear arousal and sluggish response. Asparagus also carries folate, which supports nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is the very molecule that relaxes blood vessels, improving circulation for the heart, the muscles, and of course, erections. This makes asparagus a triple ally, feeding hormones, guarding nerves, and sustaining blood flow. Preparing asparagus doesn't need to be complicated. Lightly steamed with olive oil or roasted with garlic, it becomes both nourishing and enjoyable. For men over 60, it's less about gourmet dining and more about steady fuel for masculinity. And as asparagus strengthens the foundation quietly, the next food brings refreshment and surprise. A fruit long seen as nothing more than a summer snack, yet proven to work almost like nature's very own performance pill. Watermelon has always been treated as a light, refreshing fruit, something to cool you down on a hot summer afternoon. But for men over 60, it carries a hidden gift that goes far beyond hydration. It acts almost like nature's little blue pill, gently restoring circulation and confidence in ways most men never expect. One of my patients, Mr. Walter, 71, a grandfather of 3, shared that he had a lifelong habit of eating a bowl of watermelon on his porch every evening. He thought of it as nothing more than a sweet routine. When I explained to him that his habit was quietly working in his favor, he looked at me in disbelief. The secret is citrulline, a compound found abundantly in watermelon. Inside the body, citrulline is converted into arginine, which fuels the production of nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is the very molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and allowing smooth blood flow. That means better circulation not just for the heart and muscles, but also for the smallest vessels that matter most during intimacy. For Walter, the realization was almost humorous. "Doctor," he said, "are you telling me my watermelon has been working like a performance pill?" I smiled and assured him it was no exaggeration. In the weeks that followed, his energy rose, his confidence returned, and he carried himself with the ease of a man who knew his body still had fire left. Beyond nitric oxide, watermelon also hydrates the body, supports recovery after activity, and refreshes the system in a way no processed snack can. It is both gentle and powerful, a rare combination that makes it invaluable for older men seeking to feel alive again. Sometimes the simplest habits hold the greatest rewards. A bowl of watermelon cubes may look ordinary, but within those bright red bites lies the potential for renewed circulation, stamina, and intimacy. And as watermelon proves that even the humblest foods can carry extraordinary power, it brings us to something equally vital. A chance to pause, listen, and respond to the voices of men just like you, whose questions and concerns shape the very heart of this conversation. Gentlemen, one of the greatest privileges of this work is not just speaking to you, but hearing from you. After every video, the letters and comments you leave become part of the conversation. Tonight, I want to pause and respond directly to some of the questions that came in. Question 1. Doc, I've been eating celery for a month and feel no difference. Am I doing something wrong? My answer, celery works quietly. Think of it like building a foundation. You don't notice the walls going up until the base is strong. Keep at it, but also make sure your sleep, hydration, and stress levels are in line. Hormones respond best when the whole system is supported. Question 2. Are you secretly working for the chocolate industry? You keep talking about cocoa. I chuckle at that. I wish I had stock in Hershey's, but no, gentlemen. My loyalty is to science, not candy companies. Dark chocolate earns its place here because flavonoids work and because I've seen the results in my patients, plain and simple. Question 3. I'm diabetic. Can I eat pineapple without spiking my sugar? Yes, but in moderation. Pair pineapple with protein or fiber like a handful of nuts to slow absorption. That way you enjoy the bromelain and antioxidants without sharp sugar swings. Question 4. Doc, is watermelon really a blue pill? Or just a story you tell to keep us entertained? Fair question. No fruit replaces prescription medication if you truly need it. But watermelon contains citrulline, which your body converts into arginine, and that supports nitric oxide, the same pathway targeted by modern ED drugs. It's not myth, it's chemistry. Question 5. My wife says pistachios are too expensive. What's the alternative? Walnuts and almonds are excellent choices, but pistachios remain the richest in arginine, so if you can, make them an occasional treat. Consider it an investment in circulation. These questions remind me that this is more than a lecture, it's a dialogue, and that dialogue is what keeps this community alive. Now, with your voices acknowledged, let us bring all of this together into one clear message, a conclusion about food, vitality, and the dignity of manhood after 60. Gentlemen, we have walked through 7 simple but powerful foods, and I hope by now you see just how much strength still lives within your reach. Dark chocolate lowers stress and opens blood vessels. Pineapple calms inflammation, freeing your body to build testosterone again. Pistachios fuel nitric oxide for stronger performance. Celery balances hormones and restores presence. Chili peppers ignite passion and lift mood. Asparagus feeds hormones and protects nerves. And watermelon, sweet and ordinary as it may seem, works almost like nature's own performance pill. These are not exotic secrets. They are everyday foods that have been sitting in your kitchen waiting for you to recognize their power. Over the decades, I've seen men walk into my clinic discouraged, shoulders heavy, convinced that age had stolen something essential. And I've seen those same men return weeks later lighter, more confident, alive again, because they chose to take small, consistent steps. The message I want to leave with you tonight is simple. You are not powerless against age. Your body still knows how to make testosterone. Your blood vessels still know how to open and carry life. And your spirit, though tested, is not broken. What it takes is not a miracle drug, but steady choices, the kind you can begin today. So here's what I ask. Choose one of these foods and make it part of your daily routine. Not next month, not next year, today. Because every step you take is a declaration that your health and your manhood are worth fighting for. And before we close, I want to thank you for walking this path with me. If this message resonated with you, press that like button. Do it not just for me, but as a mark of intention for yourself. And as you do, may I leave you with 3 blessings. May your mornings greet you with strength, may your evenings bring you peace, and may the years ahead remind you that your best days are not behind you, they are still waiting to be lived. Subscribe, comment, and share your story, because together we are building a brotherhood of men who refuse to fade quietly.